a close-up look at all your Concho Valley High School football, this is Inside the Game, sponsored by Mitchell Automotive Group.
Welcome to Inside the Game. It's week 2 of the high school football season, and we've got a jam-packed show of highlights and scores from your favorite teams across the Concho Valley. So let's jump right into it. Central last week suffered their first opening loss in 6 years, but it's time to move forward. For them, that doesn't mean to forget that it didn't happen, but to learn from their mistakes. Tonight, they got a chance at redemption against Del Rio in front of a home crowd packed into San Angelo Stadium. So did they take care of business? Let's find out. Here are the Bobcats before the game, pumped up, ready to go get that first win of the year. It was a slow start for both teams in the first quarter. Late in it, Malachi Brown is going to show off his speed, making a few moves for a first down, but the Bobcats would miss a 42-yard field goal, and it would end up staying at 0-0. But in the second quarter, Chris Jackson gets the Bobcats on the board first. They're out to a 7-0 lead. That was a 6-yard touchdown by Jackson. Still, next drive, still in the second quarter, Brown's going to have a nice pass there to Christian Dalbon in the end zone. What a catch. He hangs on to the ball after the hit. The Bobcats up 14-0, and they would go on to dominate this game. They get their first win of the season by a final score of 52-10. Our Rachel Turnock is out at San Angelo Stadium, and she has more.
Thanks, Jaden. You know, it was really just such a slow start for both teams. Del Rio going 3 and out on their first drive, and then Central punting on their first drive. That's pretty much what was just the story for the first quarter. And then Central's offense really started to show some life at the end of the first quarter. Malachi Brown just showing off of his footwork, as you can say, as you saw in those highlights. He just did a great job getting the ball moving. And then at the very first play at the second quarter, that's when Central finally got it rolling with Chris Jackson, just one of two touchdowns for him, and Central's offense was just unstoppable at that point. And one of the big things for them tonight, they just had 6 penalties compared to the 18 that they had last week. Coach Davis really was not happy with that. He just thought it was unacceptable. They really cleaned it up with the penalties tonight, and then they got that first win, so there's no losing streak happening with Central tonight. They did go in and celebrate in the locker room. It was very exciting for the Bobcat fans this evening to see them beat Del Rio. We're going to snag an interview coming up later in the show, but for now, Jaden, back to you.
This update sponsored by Bug Express.
This week's Game of the Week turns our attention yet again to the Wall Hawks. Last week, they were under the spotlight when they beat down Mason 47-7, ending the defending 2A state champs' 40-game home winning streak. Tonight, their opponent didn't get any easier. They faced number 9th ranked Cisco Lobos out of 3A Division II. The Lobos went undefeated in the regular season in 2018, only to have it end in disappointment, getting upset in the first round of playoffs. And this season, they're hungry to prove that they're a top team in the state. Combine that with a powerful rushing attack led by senior Stanley Callahan against a senior loaded Hawks defense, and you have the makings for a great matchup. And we'll look at the final score from that game. The Hawks improved to 2-0 this season. This game was supposed to be played in Wall last year, but it got rained out. So this marks back-to-back years they played at Chesley Stadium. Wall wins it in a close one, 20-13. Don't go anywhere. We're just getting started. After the break, see how Lakeview did out in Fabens tonight. We'll check back in with Rachel out at San Angelo Stadium, and we'll see how Grape Creek and TLCA did against those tough teams out in District 8-2A. So get comfortable. We'll have more Inside the Game right after this.
And I wish we had some...
And rich, delicious Dr. Pepper.
Cool robot.
Thanks, but actually he's a cooler from the future.
Wow.
Don't touch. He's very cold. Dr. Pepper, so nice to treat you.
At the Furniture Row Labor Day sale, the more you buy, the more you save.
I saved $100. You saved $200.
Save $100 for every $1,000 you spend store-wide. Save on living, dining, bedroom, and mattresses.
We saved $200.
Plus, get no interest financing until January 2024. Buy more, save more. Now at the Labor Day sale at Furniture Row.
Hello, I'm Barry with Unlimited Air, your San Angelo's cooling and heating specialist. And that would be Shane. Shane, what are you doing? Are you going to get your hands dirty today? Unlimited Air can help with odors in your home by sanitizing and deodorizing your AC and heating systems. Unlimited Air can clean your AC and heating ductwork. Unlimited Air can clean your dryer vents.
How is the air quality in your home?
And remember, at Unlimited Air, it's all about the service.
Hey, Alicia, how much can I actually save on a new Ford truck?
You can save thousands at Jim Bass.
Right now, get a brand new 2019 Ford F-150 XLT Super Crew 4x4 and get 15 grand. Yep, that's what I said, 15 grand in total savings.
Shop 24/7 at bassbunch.com.
Hey, Alicia, who's the handsomest man in the car business?
I do not think you know him.
Man, I wish we had some...
And rich, delicious Dr. Pepper.
Cool robot.
Thanks, but actually he's a cooler from the future.
Wow.
Don't touch. He's very cold. Dr. Pepper, so nice to treat you.
Welcome back to Inside the Game. I'm Rachel Turnock out here at San Angelo Stadium. Central gets the win over Del Rio tonight, 52-10. Second touchdown of tonight goes to Christian Gabaldon. You had a big night. First of all, I got to ask, how in the world did you hang on to that ball? Because I was over on the end zone whenever you caught it, and I have no idea. You took a hit. How did you hang on to that?
I'm wondering the same thing. I just prayed for God. I just held it tight and just made sure I caught it. I don't know. I mean, it was a rough hit. I definitely knocked the breath out of me. It was hard to celebrate after that with the breath knocked out of me, you know.
Yeah, that was a great catch, and that, you know, as I was talking to Chris Jackson earlier, that kind of just helped fuel you guys, that first touchdown, and then you just kind of kept rolling and rolling. You went into the break with a 28-0 lead. Is that just kind of like, all right, that's our Bobcat offense, that's what we are?
For sure. When Chris started getting it going, we just kept rolling and just did what we know how to do and what we practice every day. It's just routine. It's just so many reps that we get. It's hard for us not to do that, and it's definitely going to be good next week for Cedar Park. With all this practice we're going to get, we'll have something planned for them for sure, Coach Crane.
What was the first thing you guys did in the locker room? If you're allowed to tell me, what was the celebration like?
It was just a lot of jumping and dancing, loud music. It was crazy. It's the best feeling in the world, getting the win.
You guys do have Cedar Park coming to town. They did hand you guys your first loss last season. Of course, it's a new season. Definitely going to be a tough opponent, but they get to come to your house. Just what are you looking forward to with them coming here next week?
Oh, for sure. Well, last year, of course, that was Malachi's first start, so I think for sure Malachi's going to be better, going to be throwing the ball better. We're going to practice against their defense, and I mean, I think we'll definitely be prepared for them and see what they can do.
All right, well, thank you so much, Christian. Congratulations on the win tonight. Once again, Central beats Del Rio for their first win of the season, 52-10. Jaden, back to you in the studio.
This update sponsored by Bug Express.
This week, the Lakeview Chiefs got their 2019 started off to a strong start, beating Lamesa 38-30. Tonight, they were on the road facing Fabens, a team they beat 35-0 last season, which leads me to this week's stat of the week. The Lakeview Chiefs haven't started a season with back-to-back wins since 1997. When they beat Lamesa and Austin LBJ. So picking up that win against the Golden Tours, they're going in for a treat tonight, trying to beat Fabens. Let's go out to that game. There's the Fabian Wildcats getting ready to take the field at Wildcat Stadium. First quarter, Lakeview goes in to score a rushing touchdown. Bryce Medley, that puts the Chiefs up 6-0 early. Though Fabens would try to get their ground game going. Jose Reyes with a nice run here, and he gets through into the middle of the field. But the Lakeview Chiefs defense was too much for the Wildcats tonight. They go on to win this one 47-7, or 27-7, excuse me. That is back-to-back wins for the Chiefs. First time since '97. Congratulations, Chiefs. They're back home next week to face Snyder on Thursday night. Great Creek hasn't played back-to-back road games since 2006. Tonight they found themselves in that situation at Christoval. It was homecoming for the Cougars, and after picking up a 40-0 win against Harper last week, they weren't going to let the Eagles spoil that homecoming parade. Last season, Christoval won 28-6, trying to make it 2 in a row against the Great Creek Eagles. After an interception, Braden Wilcox takes the snap and goes all the way for the touchdown, 36 yards out. Christoval failed the 2-point conversion, so they're only out to a 6-0 lead. But just minutes later, Josh Fava gets the handoffs in striking distance. He goes out to the right, extends out past the pylon, gets in for the touchdown. They had another failed 2-point conversion, so they're only out to a 12-0 lead, but we're still in the first quarter. And Wilcox finds Bo Jolly with a stiff arm, and he finds his way into the end zone for 6. That gave Christoval a 27-0 lead at the end of the first quarter, and they easily went on to take this one. Final out in Christoval, 47-0. TLCA hosting Miles for homecoming. Trayton Stone, this is his senior year at TLCA and former Children's Miracle Network baby. He gets to run the first play with the Eagles, and he's in for 6. Just a heartwarming moment there. He comes off the field for a round of applause. First quarter, Miles in striking distance. Davian Martinez dissects his way through the Eagles defense, and he's in for the touchdown. Miles out to an early 7-0 lead. Ensuing possession for TLCA. Franco Rodriguez back to pass, and he doesn't see Joel Garcia. He picks it off. Miles is in good field position to go up their second score in the second quarter. A few plays later, Martinez connects with Jose Mata on a huge game, and then Martinez would go into scramble for his second touchdown of the game. Miles went on to take a 14-0 lead, and they win tonight 44-12. Ballinger out at Reagan County tonight, and it was all Bearcats. They win this one by a final score of 44-12. Some other games in 3A. Number 10 Haskell was playing Brady tonight, and the Bulldogs showed that they are the real deal this year. They beat Haskell 59-24. How about some Bulldogs? And Sonora went on to win against Lamesa. After the Inside the Game, make sure you catch Jimmy Fallon. He's on the Tonight Show. He's got the Strangers Thing cast. Yet again, an encore of that from last week. We just got into half of the District 8 2As, but find out how El Dorado and Menard did right after the break. We'll get the rest of 2A's highlights, and we'll check back in with Rachel one last time out at San Angelo Stadium. So stick around. You're watching Inside the Game.
Our Labor Day event is ending soon, and we're offering 60 months financing for a limited time. That means these oversized sofas with designer throw pillows are all under $12 a month, or recline at the touch of a button in these oversized power sofas, all under $14 a month. We have something for everyone at prices you won't believe. Hurry in for 60 months financing on everything. Home Zone, style for everyone that anyone can afford.
3D's Plumbing has a solution for corroded or busted pipes. After first cleaning out any existing blockage, 3D's Plumbing can use a non-invasive technology to repair your plumbing, all without breaking through your home's foundation. By filling badly damaged plumbing infrastructure with epoxy relining, we create a strong mold that will last for years to come. From metal to PVC piping, avoid costly damages to your flooring and foundation. When deep-rooted plumbing issues arise, call 3D's Plumbing.
Hey, Alicia, what's the lowest interest rate I could get on a new car?
0% can be found at Jim Bass Cars and Trucks.
Right now, get a brand new 2019 Ford Ranger XLT Crew Cab. Just $28,999 or 0% APR.
Shop 24/7 at BassButts.com. Hey, Alicia, who's the smartest guy on TV?
Let's talk about something else.
All right, crew, let's get started. Sure.
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
Well, Welcome back to Inside the Game. I'm Rachel Turnock out here at San Angelo Stadium. Central gets the win over Del Rio 52-10. So Central now 1-1 on the year, getting their first win of the season. Del Rio 0-2. Huge win for Central. They really wanted it. Didn't want to start out the year with a losing streak, and they got it. Started out the game slow, but once when they got that first touchdown at the start of the second quarter, it was no stopping their offense from there. So up next for the Bobcats, they're going to welcome in Cedar Park a week from tonight. Another home game for the Bobcats. Last year, that was Central's first loss on the year against the Cedar Park Timberwolves. That was at their place, and that was also the first official start for now starting quarterback Malachi Brown. But of course, with it being a new year, not a New York, the Timberwolves did get their first win tonight against Cedar Ridge. So Timberwolves coming in 1-1 as well. As you guys heard, Christian very excited for Cedar Park to come in here next week. It's going to be definitely very loud and very packed at San Angelo Stadium, so definitely come on out. Kickoff for that one will be at 7 o'clock. Once again, Central gets the win over Del Rio tonight, 52-10. They had a huge celebration in the locker room going into next week, welcoming in Cedar Park next Friday. Reporting live for the final time from San Angelo Stadium, I'm Rachel Turnock. Jaden, back to you for the rest of Inside the Game.
This update sponsored by Bug Express.
Awesome job, Rachel. The Cuviot Rubies brothers in El Dorado proved to be a force last week. Kevin threw for 355 yards and 4 touchdowns, while Kevin caught 3 of those touchdowns and finished the night with 257 receiving. Tonight, the Eagles had a much tougher task, though, than TLCA. They were on the road in Winards, and last year the Blizzard shut them down. So tonight was a chance for a revenge. And it was back and forth throughout this game. The Eagles fall short yet again to the Blizzards out in Winners, 26-20. Last team out in that district, 8-2A Division II. Menard played last night. They played Fort Stockton's JV squad and went on to get their first win of the season. Yellow Jackets won 46-22. Ozona taking on Iran tonight out in Iran. Ozona trying to bounce back after a loss last season. Here we are, Ozona with the ball, and they're going to find pay dirt. That gave them an early lead. Then Ozona back at the work, running back there. I think that is Abraham Rodriguez. He goes into the corner and takes the touchdown. Ozona went on to destroy Iran tonight. The Braves just could not keep up with the running attack and that passing attack that Ozona has. The Lions win in shutout fashion, 59-0. As for District 14 2A, the voters still think Mason is one of the 4th best teams in 2A Division I, and tonight the Punchers went on to destroy Johnson City 43-0 out at Eagle Field, and Goldthwaite beat Junction. Junction won last week, but now they're 1-1 on the year after this one. Final score out there, 36-27. We're not done with Inside the Game just yet. We have to get to our 6-man game of the week between Highland and Blackwell. We'll see how the rest of the 6-man teams did in the Concho Valley. But before we do that, let's take a look at this week's Bowl Span Cam.
Catering for Inside the Game is provided by Chick-fil-A.
This is Bethany from Ashley Home Store, inviting you to our post-Labor Day sale. Going on now until next Monday, you can enjoy our fantastic Labor Day offers. Make your way through our door for a warm welcome and to inspire your dream home, only at Ashley Home Store.
Hey, you seen Dad?
Last I saw, he was on a lot lower in prices.
Man, again, he's obsessed.
I know. We've got to move the 2019s.
And they ain't gonna move themselves.
Now's a great time to save big, like on this new 2019 Silverado Custom Crew Cab. Only $28,999 or $409 a month.
Come on, Dad, it's time.
Hey, let's do it without him.
Okay. All American Chevrolet San Angelo. The original.
Fun and only place to buy a car.
When I was growing up, I was among the 1 in 6 American kids who struggle with hunger. And hungry mornings make tired days.
Grumpy days.
Bleh kind of days.
But with the power of breakfast, the kids in your neighborhood can think big and be more.
When we're not hungry for breakfast, we're hungry for more. More ideas.
More dreams. More fun.
When kids aren't hungry for breakfast, they can be hungry for more. Go to hungeris.org and lend your time or your voice to make breakfast happen for kids in your neighborhood.
I guess we got caught up in the crazy housing boom.
We had been in the house so long, we didn't want to lose it.
I was only going to pay interest for the first 5 years.
What these people share is that they all got in trouble with their mortgages, and they all called a certified housing counselor for help.
Our housing counselor looked at our paperwork, and she knew something was wrong.
She understood what needed to be done, and she helped me work it out with the bank.
This is a free service. If you think you're in trouble, don't wait. Call the NFCC now.
This is Bethany from Ashley Home Store, inviting you to our post-Labor Day sale. Going on now until next Monday, you can enjoy our fantastic Labor Day offers. Make your way through our door for a warm welcome and to inspire your dream home. Only at Ashley Home Store.
Welcome back to Inside the Game. Our 6-man game of the week features 2 teams with a history. That's Highland and Blackwell. They've met 62 times. Tonight they met again for their 63rd. Blackwell's gotten the best of Highland the past 2 seasons, but Highland holds the all-time series lead with a 37-23-2 record. It's the Hornets against the Hornets. Blackwell came in, moving up a spot in the division or 1A Division 1 poll, and they pick it up. We'll pick it up in the second quarter. Blackwell gets on the board first. That's Devin Clower with a touchdown reception. Still in the second quarter, that's quarterback Michael Lowry. He's going to high step it into the corner of the end zone, and Blackwell now leads 22-6. But the Highland Hornets would come back. Right before the half, Sam Spalding throws it to Dylan Jeffrey. And the big man makes a few moves and gets in the end zone. That clipped Blackwell's lead to 22-14. But Blackwell would go on to take this rivalry 30-16. Sterling City, the 4th-ranked team out in 1A Division 1, played Buena Vista tonight, and they dominated and 45 the Longhorns. Final score out there, 58-14. Last week, Erie County proved to any naysayers out there that even though they're playing as an independence this season, they're bringing it every single week. Tonight, they got to trot out 6-man football to their fans out in Mertzen. Game 2 in the 6-man football for Erie County. The Hornets hosting Paint Rock. First quarter, Paint Rock trailing by 24. Derek Plumley takes matters into his own hands. He gets on into the second level and gets the Indians on the board 24-6. But like I said, Erie County was not going to let anyone stand in the way of showcasing 6-man football to their fans. In the second quarter, here they are, getting a little bit of pass, but Tevin Koppel wouldn't be faced. He finds Ociel Garza, who finds his way into the end zone for 6, and got a little bit of a Heisen stiff arm at the end of that one. Hornets still not done. Koppel making some moves with his legs. After some pressure, decides to take matters into his own hands, goes in for the touchdown, and Erie County went on to steamroll Paint Rock tonight. The train keeps on rolling. They win 60-14. Water Valley at very best. Both teams coming off a win last week. First quarter is where we will pick this game up. No score. Falcons driving. Connor Barnes passes it to Chance Rubble. He goes untouched into the end zone. First score of the game, and the Falcons up 8-0. Later in the quarter, Water Valley's Gunnar McCoy keeps it and pushes his way into the end zone. Look at that brute force. The PAT was blocked, and they went on to take the 8-6 lead. Very best went on to extend it here, but it didn't matter. Water Valley would go on and win this one 72-28. And for Robert Lee taking on Sidney tonight, this was their home game at Griffin Stadium. First quarter, Sidney leads 6-0. Trick play there, tricked out our cameraman, and Robert Lee fools everyone. Lane Fowler gets in the end zone and ties the game up at 6. Next Sidney position, Mike Linke nearly brought it down, but he gets it to Jason Kennard. He does the rest, takes it to the house. Sidney would take the lead after an extra point once he finally gets into the end zone there, 14-6. But Robert Lee trying to tie it up again. Lane Fowler would find the end zone once. He uses a spin cycle to find it again. Robert Lee would miss the extra point. They pulled it within 2, and the Steers would go on to take this one. Final score out in Robert Lee, 34-20. Let's take a look at the rest of District 13 1A. Bront was in the rain tonight, and they got dominated by Lorraine. 49-0, Bront out to an 0-2 start. As for Eden, they redeemed themselves after losing to Blackwell last week. They're in Rotan and won that game. Final score there, 67-18. Well, that's a wrap for week 2 of Texas high school football. Thank you for staying up late with us tonight. I want to thank all of our production staff in the back. They make this thing happen each and every week, and without them, we could not do this thing. Also, our newsroom was all over the place, scrambling around the Concho Valley so that you guys could have the highlights at home and scores and keep up with every one of your favorite teams. So next week, we'll be back with week 3 of high school football. Same time. Tonight, I'll leave you with some highlights from this week.
Inside the Game is sponsored by Mitchell Automotive Group.